Alright, how's it going tonight, everyone? Welcome. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's week is off to a good start. We don't have any particular plans tonight. We're gonna kind of be all over the place. And I am on the wrong window. This is supposed to be, yeah. I was like, why is this now down to 150%? I had to go dig up the email I just linked to Randomness 2 in chat. Because I was like, there was a pull request that I saw something for. That was one of the random things we were going to have to go through tonight. I am hoping to get back to the Tux Droid tonight. We'll see. That's why he is on stream. Even though he's hard to see. Well, because his eyes get blacked out from the chroma key. You notice I got the stats fixed right up here. Right up there. Those are fixed. Yay. Aside from that, I think everything's good to go. So, how are all you fine people doing tonight? We gotta try to remember where the hell we were with G-plugin and stuff. I think G-plugin we were just waiting on... I don't remember what the hell we were doing. To be honest with you. Okay, so we got the Mason sub-project fixed. We got all that. Oh, that's what we were doing. So, in the sub-project here... Yeah. What did I change in the other stuff here? Oh, okay, we're making it use the G-plugin GIR. The thing is, we can't flip this yet. We have to release G-plugin for this. So, yeah. Video looks to be working for me. How's it going, Nightshade dude? Welcome. I don't know, try refreshing, because it seems to be fine here. So we were trying to make sure that the Bitbucket pipelines would work right. And I think we got to that point. But we're still, we got to release G-plugin to do this. So maybe we'll release G-plugin tonight, because we haven't done that in a while. Twitch fail? Cool. I love when it's not my fault. Alright, so we're just going to make sure this builds, which I'm pretty sure it did. But we can't finish this pigeon pull request until G-plugin's actually released. And we gotta... So, Reconaro, if you're still here, do you have any thoughts on... So, like in G-plugin, we have the develop branch and the default branch. Default branch is the last release. That's very specifically that way because that's how HGFlow works. HGFlow being the same thing as GitFlow, which is both just implementations of the Dresian branching model. Where default is just always your most recent release, and then develop is what will become the next release. So think of it as like Debian stable versus Debian testing. The Talkatoo right now doesn't do that. It just has default. So the sub-projects in Mason depend on just the default branch, which is probably fine, but right now we're merging all new improvements there. I'm not sure we want to go that route, so I'm not sure. And I just realized I'm talking all this, and I never waited to see if you were going to respond to me when I asked if it's still here. Whoops. How's it going, Enzo? Welcome. Ah, you are still here. Okay, did you hear that entire spiel? I don't have to say it again. Alright, so that build worked. Sweet! Oh, we need to build G-plugin docs, though. That's one of the things we need to do. Not sure you have an opinion on it? Okay, I'm curious what QLogic wants to say, because when we did the Talkatoo release docs, that was part of it. And, like, you'll see here, so if we go into the sub-projects here, so the whole sub-project thing is, like, if you just clone Pigeon, and you don't have G-plugin, libgnt, or Talkatoo, Mason, these wrappers here, will download them and build them as part of the Pigeon build. And it just does all of it at once, which is really cool, but then we work it, so like if we look at G-plugin here, so right now this says develop because I'm just testing it. So we just tell it directory, G-plugin, we give it a URL, and then it goes. And actually I'm curious what else is in the wrap HG. I think QLogic actually built that, because I don't think anybody else built it. So for Talkatoo, we say default, but Talkatoo's default branch is where all new code ends up. Like, there's no release process in there. So I'm wondering, like, so the other idea is, like, if revision, we should be able to put a tag in, And if we can put a tag in, that's cool. And then that'll just fix the problem. Because we'll just put the tag to whatever the hell the last release we've tested Talking To with for Pigeon. And then, you know, we'll cycle that as we're going through and that kind of stuff. Yeah, the HG flowway kind of makes sense, but then you get old traditional branches and everybody loses their shit about them. I think wrapping on the tag is maybe better for everyone's sanity. Like, I've been wanting to get rid of the branching stuff in G plugin, but this has caused a problem with it, because it's like, how do we handle? Like, I don't know. Alright, but anyways, so what we need to do for G plugin right quick is we need to create docs images. So similar to, you know, docs.pigeon.im/talk2/latest, we need to do the same thing for G plugin. Luckily, I've got all this crap figured out, so that's cool. I still need to put something together, and I'm not even sure if I can do it quite the way I want to, but we have to put something together to hopefully maybe use the Kubernetes downward API so that I can create handlers here and for each thing. Basically, just like basic dir indexes. Just so if you land here, you'll get something rather than a 404. But so in Kubernetes, there's this thing called the downward API, but maybe that's only for manifest. But I can create something really stupid simple in Go to just basically make a real simple directory structure that will just look at... I should be able to get what the ingress rules are, right? Hold on. So when you're running inside of Kubernetes, you can actually use kube control. You might have to create a service account for it, but you might not. It gets weird. But anyways, I should be able to kube control -n pigeon -l app equals docs. I think I did it this way. Or no, I just want to do pigeon -n get -o YAML ingress docs -l app equals docs. Or get ingress docs. And I should be able to grab each one of these. And then I should be able to grab these and turn them into the rest of the directory structure. So like I have the paths. So like at the top level, I can just take, you know, just take all these, fold them down, walk through the trees, and then just build out a stupid little dynamic page that's just like, oh, here's the stuff that's here. And then I should be able to monitor that in the app. And it's just a tiny little web server app that monitors that in Kubernetes and then updates its routes. And then, you know, it just handles them. And then obviously it won't actually handle these guys because these will get redirected to the other backend. But then the default backend would be the one that'll actually route you here. That's something I want to do at some point. Obviously not like something that needs to be done right now. But something that would be cool. But that way we can add docs easily and we'll have to maintain a page, because I would rather spend like a day or two writing the app that does it automatically than spending too much time over time updating the docs, because that's just more crap that becomes tribal knowledge. It's got to be documented. Somebody's got to remember to do it. It's just, yeah, no, automate that shit. Automate it all. Alright, so anyways, we need to make some docs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into G plugin reference. And we're going to see how I did this for talk 2. I don't remember. Yeah, okay, so there's a Docker file here. Alright, yeah, so, oh, that's... Why did I do that this way? I have a docs build image, which seems redonkulous to have. Yeah. Alright, we're gonna do this a little bit differently, because this... Oh. Crap. So this is going to get confusing for a number of reasons. If I put the Docker file here, I can't do the full build here. How do we do this here? Like, that file there doesn't make a lot of sense. What's the Darks image then? What in the shit did I do? Oh, okay. I just used the Debian Buster image. And then I just built the docs. Okay. So the Penguin is a Tux droid. He is a fully animatronic device. Here's another one. And the point is, we're hoping to get back to him today. So we were working on him yesterday. The idea is that he will take over announcements on the stream by talking, blinking his eyes, flapping his arms. These are all motorized, all that. He can talk, he's got a speaker in him, he's got a microphone in him, a whole bunch of stuff. But the problem is all the software for him is super dead and out of date and doesn't work. So we started hacking a new driver for him, which is the first time I've worked with USB directly, and it has been an experience. So, yeah. Oh, okay, that's what I did. I'm dumb. Okay, so we build the docs manually just using a normal thing, and then, or using the normal builder, and then we build it off of that Docker file, and then we publish that. Okay. I don't know if we can. I don't know if we'd say I can write drivers. What we saw last night was not any proof of that. I'm learning it. I'm learning it, and it's not even really like writing a driver per se. It's using USB HID, USB. That's human interface device. USB.org/HID. I mean, all the docs are here. There's a bunch of stuff on how to do it in the Linux kernel. I'm trying to do it from Go, which is to make it cross-platform, and it's weird. It sucks. I've tinkered with driver stuff before. I never got too far, but this is if at best case I'd call it a user space driver. You're talking to the kernel using using IO controls to control it, but like you're not in kernel space, so it's kind of a driver, kind of not a driver. It's whatever. Like I said, it's not really a driver. It's the HID stuff is. The HID stuff all runs in user space. None of it is actually in the kernel. So, like, is it a driver? Technically, yes, but not the drivers that everybody thinks of. So, like when you think of a driver, you're probably thinking like video card driver or something like that. But it's like, what's a good example? So, like, when you plug your keyboard in. Your keyboard is a user space driver. That's not a kernel driver. There's some basic kernel stuff, but that's the USB human interface device interface. And then the whatever software is then communicating with that to get it right. But actually the keyboard stuff maps it to the input subsystem in the Linux kernel, and then you just deal with the inputs. So, yeah. Yes, technically correct, which is, of course, the best kind of correct. Alright, so anyways, we're just gonna literally copy that Talkative one to here. Talkative reference Docker file to here. So yeah, that's literally all this is gonna do. Then we're gonna come back here, our convey.yaml is gonna be a bit worse than the other one is. So I guess we're gonna do build docs, and this is going to be type docker run. this sucks. It's gonna be image $, or registry slash repository colon $. We're just gonna say Debian Buster AMD 64. That kind of actually we're gonna do this. Docs build image equals $, registry slash $, repository slash colon $, Debian Buster AMD 64. There. Then I'll have to type it a million times. Docs build image. Okay. Then this is going to do command. No, we're just gonna do script. Yeah. And we're gonna say set -ex. And then we're gonna say Mason. This should automatically put us in the workspace. That was a bug we fixed a while ago. You're importing a header file for your school code? Wow. Congrats, I guess. Mason build docs. Target. So this is going to need the target too. And then it's going to ninja -c build docs. $target. $targets. Okay. Now we're gonna have build docs image, which is going to be type docker build. How do I do this exactly? So we're gonna say docker file, files, colon, $ files. Did I make it so you can set a context? I don't remember. Oh, we need the tags too. Docs version. No. Equals 0.28 plus. Right, we're something like that, right? 28.1. Oh, we're just gonna say latest. That's easier. Tag $, repository or registry, repository. Target docs version. I think that's close. We're obviously gonna have to play with this to see what happens, but so we're gonna create a target called docs. I don't have. Do I have it? What the hell? These gotta be built separately, which sucks, but it's alright. G plugin builders. I do have a docs builder. Why do... Yeah. This is not the way we should be doing this. Because we want to create two separate images, not one. So that's gonna go away. Wait, I'm the wrong thing. Okay, so this is gonna go away. So we're gonna say G plugin docs environment. Shit, what was it? It was target equals G plugin doc. That's the Mason target. Then we needed. What else do we need here? we need target and files. Oh, and the Docker file. Doc path / Docker file. I'll make a docs path. Just be consistent. This will make sense in a second. Let me get it going here. It's in my head. It's hard to explain at the moment. Docs path equals G plugin / reference. And then we've got stages, tasks, import, build docs, and then build docs image, I think was the name of it, right? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to try this in a second, but we need to actually put this in the right spot. Alphabetize! Alright, so if I did not completely lose it here, I'll explain it once it works. G plugin docs. Tab characters. Son of a bitch. I don't know why I'm using Vim so much lately. It's fine. We'll get back to Sublime. Don't worry. Oh, no. New directory. Oh, I thought I fixed. Oh no, that's fixed in the new version. Damn it. Workdir, $, convey, workspace. I made it so that if you're using a script, by default it puts you in the convey workspace. Or if you don't set one and you're running if you don't set a workdir and the container doesn't have one set or something, and you're running a script, it automatically puts you in the convey workspace because that's typically the case you want to do. Did I? Still broken, sorry. Use Linux and not use Vim for everything? What are you even doing? Yeah, I don't use Vim for web browsing. It's kind of hard. You know. Kid Cereal was like, what's that penguin? I responded, he's going to work on it later. To what you said, I want him to work on it now. ISP seems okay. Bitbucket broken. Not entirely. CloudFront. You also don't use Arch? Yeah, I don't use Arch. No, not at all. The Rock, we're kind of all over the place. We're trying to finish up some stuff for the G plugin release. I don't know if we're actually going to release G plugin tonight, but we'll see. But then I want to get back to Tux Droid, which is what you see right over here. I can figure out where he is at some point, yeah. The funny part is he's physically right above me. He's up there. But he's camera left, which is my right. Do you mean Linux, bro? No, man. I don't Linux at all. I'm a scrub. What can I say? Docker my readme build. Why did I not pass that in? Inferno Deity Infinity. Thank you for the follow. Glad to have you here. You have to ask if Bibbit was broken. You've been drinking the wrong Kool-Aid. Well, like, I mean, like, more broken than normal. Like, does not function today. Which the answer... Oh, you mash the refresh button and then it works. But whatever, I already got my answer. Apparently I didn't put this in here, so how the hell am I actually building this in the Talkatoo stuff? So... Oh. I cheated. Okay, that's fine. Like, we can cheat the same way. It's cool. So we're gonna copy Doc's path to Doc's. And that should do it. Should... So the problem was I couldn't build the image because I couldn't find that HTML folder. What in the hell? We shouldn't leak any data with this. So what did it actually run? Doing random stuff? You too. Nice. Oh, I need to fix that. That's not right. Yeah, so the context I passed... Oh, that's why you can't specify the context, because the context ends up in where you are. So, the files, it copied... Oh, this one ended up as /reference. Okay, I gotta make sure that slash is at the end, because convey is way too, touchy with that. Oh, yeah, this one's going away. Wait, is this G plugin or is this top? Yeah, this is G plugin. I forgot that we did elementary for G plugin already. Alright, so if we put a slash here, that should fix it, question mark? I might have to put a star at the end of it, I'm not certain. Yeah, well, it looks like we need the star. Docker's copy stuff fucking sucks. It's real bad. And it causes all sorts of bullshit. Oh wait, you know what? I might not need the star. I might be able to do it in a hackier way. Yay! Alright, that gave me... Okay, yeah. And double slashes don't work either. So I might be able to do that. And let's get rid of... that there. At least the docs build fast. Relatively fast. Son of a biscuit. Okay, I think we're just going to cheat. Instead of trying to be fancy and handle this decently, we already built the docs, so we know they're there. So we're going to say HTML to there. That's what we did in Talkatoo, right? Yeah. And like this should do it. And we'll see. But yeah, so Docker's copy uses... What? Oh. This might have been working before, and I'm dumb. The problem is, those docs are under this path. So, in docs path, what did I give it here? So if we look at the copy, so it tried to copy reference HTML, so workspace, G plugin, reference HTML. That doesn't exist. because it's workspace, docs build, G plugin, blah, blah, blah. So we need to get that in here. Automation is hard to do right, but it's okay. You'll get there. We're going to change this up a little bit. So target that you pass in, we're going to put the dash doc on the end, and then the repository is going to be G plugin. I don't know how we want to do this yet. Target something colon docs version. G plugin docs. G plugin docs version, something like that. We'll see how it works. We'll play around with it. We'll change it around. But yeah, so target just becomes G plugin. Okay, docs path tells us the path to go into. That builds the rest of this. And then, instead of just docs paths, we have build docs dash $ target slash docs path. That should work now. Wow, this is convoluted. Anyone else gonna remember this? I'm not, but hey, look, it worked. So we should now be able to do docker run -it-rm minus p 3001 colon 3000. I think I'm using 3001. Docker.io slash g plugin slash docs g plugin colon latest. What the hell did I tag? Oh, wait. So the name got messed up, which we're gonna have to fix, but docs, G plugin, latest. Alright, sweet. So those worked. We have to figure out why the tag's broken. Tag is supposed to be registry. Oh, whoops. So we're gonna say registry G plugin, then docs colon this. So let's say G plugin, or let's do G plugin doc. Let's see how's that look when we build it. What's broken? Oh, the link's broken? Yeah. I don't know how else to find the keyboard now. Because it is a generic ass name. It just says Keycool LED something in Chinese. That has a serial number. And that's all I got. And like their main website just doesn't even work at all either. So keycool.com or kc-keycool. Keycool keyboards. Let's just try that. Where's that gonna take us? I don't think anybody has a link to them anymore. Here's the thing about keyboards. Just find what you like. Don't spend a ridiculous amount of money on keyboards. Like, I'm looking at this and all of you say they're over $100. I'm just like, this is a stupid amount of money to pay for a keyboard. I'm trying to find like manufacturer website to see if anybody has thing here. Oh, apparently there's our Calith blue switches or something. I don't know. I'm looking at mechanicalkeyboards.com. Yeah, the keyboard works. It's fine. You paid $20 for a cheap knockoff? Yeah, I paid nothing for this one, so... I need to replace a switch. I have a code. It was an 84-key code keyboard, so it just doesn't have the number pad. It's a great keyboard, except I accidentally spilled a soda in it, and one of the arrow keys now sticks, so I have to replace the switch. Or rip the entire switch apart and clean it, which it's arguable which one's harder. But like, it sucks because I like that keyboard, but whatever. But it's fine. Like, I don't know. I can still use Rubber Dome. I really don't care. All right, so we got the new one, and then the image name is gplugin dock. All right, so the other one will say gplugin GTK dock, and then latest. All right, so let's build that one. Then we have to make these so they publish too. For yank, paste, gplugin GTK docs, target gplugin GTK, docs path gplugin GTK reference, and that should do that. The gplugin GTK docs kind of suck, but it's alright. Should be 4 solder points. Yeah, but like either way, I still have to rip the keyboard apart and shit like that. That's the problem. Oh, yeah, I did not create the Docker file over there. That would be un problem. Un problemito. Gplugin reference Docker file. Gplugin GTK reference. Ooh, it takes forever to load. Wait, what? Yeah, and like, what are you gonna learn on that page? Not much. Actually, it didn't take long to load for me. I think you brought it into the cache. IT-RM-P 3001 3000 gplugin GTK docs latest. What? Oh, I named it Doc. Ugh. Should this be Doc or Docs? I'm thinking Docs. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yay! Oh, we didn't put the... Oh, no, there's no widget gallery here, but it's fine. Action Nailin', thank you for the follow. Glad to have you here. Pulling from Tape Archive. I mean, it's archive.org, which is completely volunteer run, so, and non-profit. So it's not like, you know, they've got giant SSD farms everywhere. I'm sure, like, was it last year or the year before? Or it was 2 years ago now that I think about it. Almost 2 years, exactly. I got a tour of Wikipedia. Wow. How they're still running, I don't know. Active Nailing with the host, thank you much. Appreciate it. And like, so one of the founders at the last company I worked at went to school with one of the Wikipedia people. So when we were all in San Francisco almost 2 years ago now, he was able to get us a tour, and we got to talk with him and all that kind of stuff. And like, just finding out the infrastructure that runs Wikipedia, you're just like, dude, let me help somehow, let me help. Morgos!
Yay, now I'm lucky.
Like the 13 months, thank you very much, Morgos. How's it going, man? Glad to see you. That brand and model of the keyboard are dead now? Yeah, I can see that. Morgos, do you remember these guys? The Tux Droids? This way. These guys. You need to be an old nerd to know who they are. I'm not calling you old. You have to have been a nerd for 20 years ago to know what they are. First day back at work after a week off. Ooh. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? For me, that would probably be a bad thing. It's like, oh, work, no. Walmart has a knockoff mechanical keyboard for about $50. It's not that great though, huh? Your team had reorged while you were away? Uh-oh. You still have a job, right? Like, I say tongue-in-cheek. Okay, so it's just the build docs image needs docs here. Alright, then we got publish docs image. Docker push. This is images, isn't it? It's something stupidly named. Yeah, image. Registry. G plugin, target, docs, sign docs version. Your share of my $5 is safe. Awesome. And the sub is cool. I just want to make sure you're all right. Yeah, $2.49. Or yeah, no, I think it's $2.48 actually. Stealing an extra penny from me, Twitch, killing me here. Do we want to do the publish automatically here? I don't know that we do. So in Talkative, I think we did. Like, this is primarily meant for CI, but like maybe it shouldn't be. Oh no, so we don't push it here. Where do we push it? Oh, that's gross. But yeah, alright, I guess we're gonna do it that way. This is G plugin builders. No, that's G plug. Jesus Christ. This file's too complicated. Alright, so publish docs image. That okay, so by default we're gonna have G plugin docs. I want to keep these alphabetized, but I don't want this to get confusing. It's just the way the build works, man. This might get easier at some point. I have a lot of plans on ideas on how to fix up the conveys YAML file, and how to make it not this ridiculous. But those are currently going to be trade secrets, and they will only be exposed when I release the code because of asshats. But yeah. So we'll see. It really sucks when people make an openly developed open source project have to go the closed development but still open source route. AKA the Android route. I guess we're gonna do G plugin docs CI. I don't really like that name, but whatever, it's fine. So anyways, it's gonna do all the same stuff, except there's going to be an extra stage here, tasks, login, comma, publish, docs image, tasks, log out, run always. Yeah, it should work. Race pony? What? The what? Because of that whole situation? I mean, I guess that works. Login. Publish docs image. Tasks log out. Run always. I I think my access point just fell off of its perch. It did. It fell forward. It's in a really bad spot. I need to actually like mount it. So my my monitor mount, at the top there's just like a post. So I just have one of my access points sitting right up there. So like, here's my access point. Like, I should probably mount that. Stay. Balance. Make. Okay, it looks alright for now. Oh, gotcha. So, ass party, yeah. Yeah. That makes much sense to me. Thank you. Alright, so if we say convey G plugin doc CI. I think I'm logged. Yeah, I should automatically be logged in. Or am I? Oh, there's no login task here. Because we haven't needed to log into the docs before. Or we haven't needed to log into the registry here before. That's annoying. Alright, well, whatever. Oh, wait. What the hell? We have registry username and password. We're just not using them. So, tasks. We're going to add... We should probably... We're going to rename these just a little bit. I'm going to say docs build. Docs build image. Docs publish image. Psst, now it's namespaced. Yeah. Then we just need to move export, and then we're alphabetized. Alright, we've got... These are not alphabetized in any way, shape, or form. Lovely. Alright, whatever. I don't care. Login. Type. Docker. Login. Server. $, registry. Username. $, registry. Username. Password. Registry. Password. Logout. Type. Docker. Logout. Server. Registry. And yes, we're dropping packets. Like they're hot. Drop them all. Because they're hot. Alright, so... Oh, I built it in the wrong spot. Oh, I didn't fix all the names. Docs build. Docs build image. Docs build. Docs build. Docs image. Docs publish image. I am my own worst enemy. Trying to get a colloquial term into emoji form is not what I would call easy. Huh? What are you trying to do? Oh, yeah, never mind. I are the dumb. Build docs. No, yeah, what the... How do I keep screwing this up? Because I only did gplugin GTK, not gplugin. As I just said, I am my own worst enemy. I am the one that causes the most work for myself. My ISP is Spectrum. So there's something weird that's been going on with my ISP, and I know it's happening. I have all the data to show it's happening. The problem is I don't know how the hell to go to their tech support with it, because it's not exactly random, but it is just a pain in the ass. So if we go back, let's say the last 24 hours, it's loading. Come on, it shouldn't take this long. Interesting. Okay, let's go last 7 days. I don't know. Oh, DNS was messed up, so ignore that. My DNS is messed up on my LAN, so ignore that. But if you notice here, there's a pattern. If you do the math, it's roughly every 100 minutes I lose connectivity for about 100 seconds. Like, I don't fully lose connectivity, I just partially lose connectivity, enough to mess up the Twitch stream. Actually, enough to mess up a lot of stuff. And I've tried all sorts of different things to make this work better and to deal with it. But so these other addresses here, this is my router, and then everything else is my hops getting out of their network out to the internet. I don't go all the way, I go like 6 hops deep, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do 5 hops inside of my ISP's network, and then I try to hit Google. And I'm seeing quite a bit of packet loss pretty frequently, as you can tell. But the problem is, like, okay, so this happened at 8:50. The next one happened at 10:10. Okay, so that's 80 minutes. Then this one happened right away, but so this last one here was 22:31 to 15, so an hour 45-ish. It's just, it sucks. And like, they're gonna be like, well, it looks fine here, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, now watch within the next 90 minutes, I'm gonna lose data. Like, I'm gonna lose full connectivity, I'm gonna start dropping packets. There is one thing I need to do yet, and that is to try, no, it's not due to the stream, because like, look, I'm not streaming this entire time. So if we go back the past 6 months even, ignore this. This was, IPv6 was busted for me. But if we go from here to here, okay, that's June 1st. And look at the packet loss that we see all the way. So June 1st to September 24th or September 25th, or not September, to July. When we look at this block, look at this. This is a lot more acceptable. We're in a fractional of percent here. We had one bad day of up to 1%. Like, this is kind of expected. Occasionally you're gonna drop a packet, it's the internet, right? That's not a big deal. It's pretty consistent, but not too bad. But like the way it does look, so like, I was guessing originally that the problem was then when I turned on IPv6, because before that there was like nothing, right? Absolutely nothing. And then I turned on IPv6, and from the time I turned that on until today is when this started happening. I've since disabled IPv6. But like, look, this is July 26th. I don't stream every day. Here's the 27th. I'm not streaming into full 24 hours and all that. It's literally just gone on forever. And then today apparently is much worse. Is this UTC? No, that can't be UTC. All right, no, that's 728, sorry. We're not looking at today yet. All right, so if we go last 3 hours, yeah, so here's the last 3 hours. But yeah, so we just recently hit a block of 16.67% packet loss. So what do you do? But, oh, actually, look, over the last 3 hours, oh no, this is bullshit, because I didn't have DNS fixed until right before the stream. So you can't trust that. So yeah, it's just kind of like, how do I go to the ISP with that? Be like, hey, your shit sometimes sucks. You know? Alright, we need to put the security shield up quick. Because I need to get my Docker password in here and I gotta find it. So, security. There's the pedal. Alright. Oh, I don't have Tux on here, right? Alright, let's do this. We're gonna move Tux into the base here. Boom. Now we got Tux on the security page. Alright, my.envrc vsp.talk2/.envrc. Good, that's what I wanted. So this needs to be changed to registry. Okay, so dirt and allow. Okay, I'll turn that back off. I hit the wrong thing. There we go. Charter still in the game. For cable, yeah. I mean, there's AT&T, and I could go to their fiber, except I'm on like a special support tier for my ISP, because of issues I've had in the past and ways I've had to escalate. But it's still just like. It's going to be a pain in the ass. Like, so one of the things that a lot of people don't know is in the spring particularly, one of the things that happens to copper cable, including your cable lines, the coax that's running outside, is when it gets really, really cold, it shrinks. It's not surprising. I mean, it's a metal. It's one of the properties that happens to metal when it gets cold. But the problem is when it shrinks and you lose a connection of even a micron, maybe not a micron, maybe we'll say a fraction of a millimeter, a nanometer, you start to get signal degradation because it's not as good of a connection anymore. So what happens is in this, when it gets really cold and then when it starts warming back up, your ISP will actually end up having to go out and replace a ton of connections in the cable across your city, across your whatever, all that. And as an example of that and how I'm on a higher tier, I noticed that happening this spring. As things started warming up, the copper started expanding, connections started to get bust, all that. I saw all the behavior of it. I knew what was going on. We debated about talking about it on stream about me calling my ISP. I waited 2 days and then there was a cable truck in my in my alley fixing my connections. I did not call. I didn't have to because I'm on a higher support level. So that's why it's like I don't necessarily want to lose this. So that's why I don't really want to switch, but we'll see. It's funny how the tech-savvy dudes seem to have more problems than the average PC users. I worked for an ISP once, and the most savvy dude on our team seemed to have the most issues. Yeah, I mean, that'll happen, Mold Dirty, but, like, the average user isn't going to have the metrics reporting that I have, where I'm actually monitoring it on a second-by-second basis of how's my connection. So, and the average user can be like, I don't know, it didn't work, and then I hit refresh, and it was fine. Whereas me, while I'm streaming, I'm like, I lost connectivity for 5 minutes. That's not good in the middle of a stream. So yeah. But I don't know. How's it going, silly fanboy? Welcome, welcome. Alright, so now we were going to run gplugin docs. Oh, we were gonna make sure that convey.yaml has the registry set up right. Yeah, okay. You're rebranding yourself finally? I thought you already started doing that. Did this just automatically create it for me? Like, this did not exist before I just created this. home.docker.com/u/gplugin. Like, yeah, this did not exist. Apparently pushing to a repository that does not exist just works. You don't have to create anymore. Alright, that's good to know. Alright, so then we're going to do gplugin GTK docs, make sure this one works. Okay, that's fine. And then we're going to do the CI version. It's a whip? Yeah, makes sense. Not going to happen overnight. Exactly. Silly Fanboy 2.0. Yeah. Do it. Alright. So, that worked. This worked. Sweet. So now we have images for the docks. Yeah. As you pull my VCU upstream. Let's not do this again. Ah, crap. Alright, we get to test this finally. Good. You all shouldn't have been able to hear anything I said, right? Or then hear me type my password. You know what I was saying? Mm-hmm. Alright, nothing to pull here. Good. Cool. Yeah, so when I type passwords, I used to hit mute on the mic, but since the mic is now up here, and that's a stretch for me to get to it, I mapped it to my foot pedal, so now I just... I mean, Silly Fanboy, I'm not British or Aussie, so I don't typically say that unless I'm talking to British or Irish people, or Aussie people. British or Irish, Aussie people. Why do I keep saying Irish? Oh, and Kiwis. Kiwis too. Kiwis like to use that word a lot. But it's more of a term of endearment, whereas in the US, and I don't know about Canada. How's that word work in Canada? Like in the US, you don't say that word. In Canada, I don't know. In Canada, you don't say it either? Gotcha. Alright, HG branch, feature / CI docs. Or we're gonna say doc images. Docs images. G plugin reference Docker file. G plugin GK reference Docker file. I'm mad at someone. I just let my inner Aussie out. Yeah. Okay. If that's your excuse, sure. Add images to do the docs releases, or the docs image building. Or add tasks to build the docs. Convey tasks / plans to build the docs. Why did I name my PC Spectre? Because all of my machines are named after Reaper lore. So my last machine, which is still alive, which isn't normally the case for it, my main desktop is normally named Cloak. But since that machine's still alive, it's still on my LAN, I had to name this one different. I've had other ones named Sickle, Scythe. Scythe is my laptop. Sickle was a netbook. I haven't used, well, yeah. Sickle actually used to be my server. Now I don't really have a server, I just have multiple machines. Anyways, my host names are all after Reaper lore. These won't be built as part of my repo, but need to update the main Bamboo project yet. You name your database as Ebola? Oh man. Alright, so now that we got that, now what we can do is we can go over to that Kubernetes. 50 docs.pigeon. How was I sorting these? I guess it was that way. Docs. G plugin latest. G plugin GTK latest. G plugin GTK. G plugin GTK latest. Yeah, I know I typoed that. I'm getting there. So much crap for this. G plugin latest docs. G plugin latest. G plugin latest deployment. G plugin latest. Latest. G plugin latest. Kubernetes YAML is kind of OP. And by OP I mean not OP, but too much. Yep. G plugin latest. G plugin docs latest. Always good. Okay, now we need to do that again, but make a G plugin GTK. I'm willing to bet I missed one, so we're going to check this before I deploy it. Okay. Alright, so we added two new backends to the main ingress. We added docs, G plugin latest, server port 3000, with the redirect path, nonsense crap. That's all fine and fixed now, which is really annoying to find, but we got it now, so who gives a shit. Then we got G plugin GTK latest. That's the service name, okay. Your host name is NaviOS? Alright. Alright, so this is the service. Name docs G plugin latest. That matches this one. That matches that one. Labels is G plugin. We create two of them. Our selector is G plugin with the version of latest. That matches. G plugin latest. Yep. We set an anti-affinity rule. The anti-affinity makes sure that the two replicas that are running this do not end up on the same node in Kubernetes. That way, if we lose the node, we don't lose the docs. And this is a preferred scenario. It's not a guarantee. Because sometimes you don't have available resources on multiple nodes, and you have to run them on the same one. Or the only node that has resources is one. Okay, that looks alright. Service, G plugin GTK, docs G plugin GTK latest. G plugin GTK version is latest. That is selector for the deployment. There's a label of G plugin GTK with a version of latest. Two replicas. G plugin GTK latest. That matches the metadata in the template. Good. We make sure that the app name is gplugin GTK for the anti-affinity rule. We set the container name to docs gplugin GTK latest. Set the pull policy to always 300. Okay. Kube control apply minus F50 docs.pigeon dash dash dry run. Okay, no obvious errors. We deploy. Kube control minus N pigeon get pods. My dub. There's all of them. They've been running since 7 seconds ago. So now let's see if they work. Docs.pigeon.im gplugin latest. I missed part of this apparently. I did. I know I did. Yep. I thought I handled this in a better way, but I'm now remembering that this is the correct way I had to handle it. So we're going to apply this again. That'll just update the ingress. And we should be live auto-magically here. So now when I go to here, and I force a refresh, it redirected me correctly. Good. So there's the gplugin docs. And then the gplugin GTK docs. Oh. Latest. There. Oh, I wanted to do it without the slash, but Chrome's going to remember it now. Alright. So curl remembered it, so how about, or whatever, Chrome remembered it. It's curl minus e https docs.pigeon.im slash gplugin gtk latest without the slash. And we got a 302, good stuff. And if we check gplugin itself, once I type it right, we got a 302. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so that is all good. Oh, yeah. I'm kind of in the middle of making login not suck again. Why did I commit that? And what did I change on ingress? Ah, yes, okay. I was trying to get fluent bit to parse ingress correctly. So I can actually like track stuff easier in the docs or in the logs. HGDiff. HG checking. Add the G plugin documentation. Alright. We got docs on our Kube cluster. Yay! Good times. Didn't we have some reference to the docs in Nest somewhere? Opening Kube stuff and Sublime Text has pwned me before, so we are gonna just close it with the security shield up. It's too easy to type a file that says -secret and then you expose the secrets. You don't expose them right away because they're base 64, but they're only base 64. So anybody can read them and figure it out. And then you're like, oh shit! That's also why I only will mess with the Kubernetes YAML on stream in Vim, so I don't accidentally pick the wrong file name. Even then, I gotta be careful when I do split panes and stuff like that, because same shit can happen. Because like the first name it'll tab complete to isn't always the one you want. And then you're just like, shit. Alright, I thought we had mentioned doc somewhere. Actually, why don't I just check the site? nest.pigeon.im development. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of the release stuff from Talking To. That's what I'm thinking of. Yup. Okay. I've got to write the docs page for Pigeon 3, so we'll see. No, Balmer Peak is... I mean, I guess you could say that was Balmer's peak. Peak exercise. But yeah. Alright. Okay, that part's all done. G plugin, pull request is in. So we'll see. Where's your wave? You should have RW Grim wave. What's up, Love Pickle? So Gunji, thank you for the follow. My dad here. Please let me know if I said your name wrong. You're not a sub anymore. Well, I can't help you there. Nice liking. Alright, so that's done. That's done. We gotta figure out how we're gonna do the rest of this stuff for G-Plug. I guess we'll update Bamboo quick. What time is it? 9:30. Like we can maybe update Bamboo quick. To do the docks. Why are you taking so long, Bamboo? Thank you. I don't want to push the docks until everything is passed. So, do we mix it in here? Yeah, let's rename this to docks and packages. Configure stage. We'll say packages / docks. Save. I can have dashes, but I can't have slime. Alright, whatever. We're just going to rename this to artifacts. How's that sound? Alright, and we're going to add a job. We're going to clone an existing job, which is going to be from... Sure, Debian Buster. Job name is going to be G plugin docs. Art. G plugin docs. Come on, Bamboo. You're all in on the same cluster. There's plenty of room there right now. I don't know why you're so slow. 19 agents have the capabilities. I have to fix that. There's only 6 agents that exist right now, but there's many that are tracked right now. The problem is all I can use to decide which ones to keep and remove is an agent ID, which is a UID 4. So to figure out what UID the ones that are actually running have is harder than it should be. So it's harder to remove the ones that need to be removed. That's why they're there. Alright. Export or set minus E. Or we're gonna do so whatever, that's fine. Then we're gonna do set plus X. Set minus X. Export registry username equals, I don't remember what this is. And export registry password equals, I'm gonna look this up in a second. We don't care about the build number here. And then we are just going to run G plugin docs CI. We're gonna save this for the moment. We're gonna duplicate this tab, and we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go into G plugin. We're gonna go to G plugin builders. We are going to configure this plan. Sure. There we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Now we come back over here. We can go here. and then that'll do the rest. So we're doing the set plus X here to make sure that this export does not show up in the logs. We'll see. Yeah, so you won't actually see it. So set minus X, what it does is it echoes back every command that you're running. But we want to make sure that this does not happen because that is private. That's password. It's secret. We don't want to share that with the world. Obviously not, since it's my Docker Hub password. So yeah, that's the deal there. How's it going, Shuchki? Welcome, welcome. Alright, we're going to clone an existing, we're going to take gplugin ducks, and we're going to create gplugin gtk ducks. Gplugin gtk ducks. That job key thing makes sense when you have like 4 builds, not when you have a billion. It's a real pain in my ass. We might be getting to Tux Droid. We're not there yet. We're almost there. Alright, so we've got everything set up to do a gplugin release once these docs are merged. And the docs aren't merged yet, so we're gonna go from there. But once this is ready to go, we're gonna go try to get a gplugin release. Oh no! And then we will then we can get that released, then we can get that other pigeon commit done and some other stuff. Alright, nothing else stuck in here, I don't think so. Nope. Cool. Alright, so no, convey has a long term to go before it's fully done. Like that's gonna be a while. Alright, so we're gonna go back to. So I started looking at other hidden stuff last night for Go, and I came up with the epiphany that I read a bunch of the docs today too during the day. And hidden devices all work with report stuff. So when we were looking at this stuff last night with Tux Droid, where it's doing this report type, blah, 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 blah stuff, this we might not have to do. I'm not positive, but yeah. I mean, it's not fully in use in using pigeon stuff, but there's a bunch of stuff that uses it, yeah. We use it for a bunch of stuff. Alright, yeah, okay, that's Nest. We don't really care about Nest. We're gonna open up just my entire Tux Droid thing in here, because this will be easier to work with than it was in the shell yesterday, because that was kind of a pain. Okay. Oh, where is got Tux? There you go. Okay. So now we've got all of the old Tux Droid stuff in here. We won't have to move around in Vim a billion times. It's a bit easier to deal with. Oh yeah, clearing all them terminals. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, I started to look at all this, and number one, I found this one, which is a little bit easier. It turns out that there is one of the pigeon developers has a fork of one of these. So I tried to ping him, but he has not responded yet. Like, hey, dude, do you want to help me out here? Understand this a little bit better? That'd be great. Nano Hard, thank you for the follow. Glad to have you here. But so from what I'm reading, is it seems like everything you do with HID, a human interface device, and USB, and the whole reason that works is because it all works on report stuff. So like this read stuff might be all I need to do. And then I started looking at this library, which looks a little bit easier. You just have write and you have read. There's none of this report shit because I don't think we need it. And my rough understanding of the the Tux driver stuff right now is that it uses report IDs, but it just lets the kernel fill it in somehow. It's weird. And I think this library might do all the pieces that I need it to do. But I wanted to try to find an example of this here, and I have not done that yet, because I did not have time yet. So, go doc.org/that. Also, we're going to close about all of these. And we will find them again if we need them. So, of course, they don't have examples, which sucks. But this does look a lot easier to work with. Imports temp packages, and apparently nobody imports this. That is not a good sign. It's not necessarily a bad sign, but it's not a good sign either. But yeah, so before we get to that, let's go to here, tags. There's no tags, there's none of that. Okay. So we're going to go and try to move to this. There's a weird thing about Go where they didn't make it so that names had to be normalized, so this has messed up a lot of stuff. So most people now will just normalize all the names. But yeah, so we're going to switch to that, and we're going to try to make this a little bit easier. All of the stuff talking to the human interface human interface device stuff is in this file. So this should be, or except we have this too. I just remember this. That's not what I wanted to do. Thanks. Go away. Come again. I just wanted to copy this. I made it so much harder on myself. Alright, so we're gonna say go tidy, or go mod tidy. Parsing go mod, unexpected module path. Do I need? Oh no, okay, so he didn't change the name, so you don't have to have. The problem comes in when somebody changes the name. But since URLs are case sensitive, and Go module imports aren't, you run into problems. Go to mod. All right, good. So now it's just that. It's running that. Sweet. All right, we're obviously not going to build right now, but yeah. What? Do I need hid dev? I guess so. That kind of sucks, but it's not too bad. Alright, cool. So yeah, so now we have to go port to the new library, which is a little annoying, but it could be worse. So... Alright, we don't care about path, I don't think. They don't give examples of how to do this, which is stupid, but whatever. You want to go up to the Flynn repo instead? So if I remember looking at this right, the Flynn repo was much different. Scratch 21 commits ahead, 1 commit behind, boom, Bueller, master. So like, this guy like rewrote it. The one I'm trying to use like rewrote a ton of this. There's no Go doc here. And like 4 years, months. 4 months. Whereas this one was 2 months. So the whole way I ended up here, I went to Forks. That's a Pigeon developer, so he was using this, and that's why I'm like, hey, how's this work? Anyways, then I went to Network, and then I went with whoever had the most recent commits, which was Jack of Most Trades. That's how I ended up with his. So yeah. Is it personal to ask how you're doing financially if you're doing open source? Lux, no, I mean, that's fine. So I saved up a bunch of money at my last job, and so let's back up. I've been doing open source since before I even went to college. I've been doing open source since like 2002. And it's my passion. It's what I want to do. Since I started doing open source work, I've wanted to do it full time. However, as you're well aware, doing open source work full time does not pay the bills. So since 2002, 2003, I've been trying to find a way to do it. I lucked into an opportunity at my last job where I was able to save a significant amount of money. And right now I am working off of that savings. So right now I do not currently have a job. Any money I make for open source basically comes from this stream. So if people subscribe, donate bits, or stuff like that, that's where all of my income right now comes from. There are a couple other things I'm looking at for getting grants and stuff like that. I need to follow through and finish those, but I'm so backed up on other stuff that trying to do that the money's not a huge problem right now, but like I need to get on that soon because it's going to become a problem sooner rather than later. But yeah, so basically I'm working off of savings. That's what it comes down to. Share explanation. Anything else for your contribution to open source? Oh, you're very welcome, and thank you for saying thank you. You'd be surprised how often that doesn't happen. But yeah. All right. Oh yeah. So we want to go look at these docs. The query stuff looks weird here. Let's go back up to Boom Bueller. So this had a different setup, I thought. There's no Go doc here either. Lovely. Definitely love to. Yes, exactly. So actually in the pigeon community, we like to give you an idea of how bad it gets. In the pigeon community, we coined a term back in I don't know, 03, 04, maybe it was 07. I don't know, somewhere in that time frame. Called FUSES, F-S-U-S-E. No, F-S-U-E-S, which stands for Free Software User Entitlement Syndrome. The problem is people that use open source seem to think that like them using your software is like, I don't know, you get something like that's worthwhile to you that they use your software. So like if they come up to you with a feature and it's something that just like, number one, isn't feasible, number two, doesn't make sense in the program or whatever, and you just like turn them down, they're like, well, I'm gonna stop using your program, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay. Like if you want to implement this feature, the code's right there. You can go ahead. Yeah, and they assume warranty. That's a big part of it too. But like we've had so many people that just like losing it on us. It's like, hey, we don't even have to give you support. We don't even have to respond to you. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna stop using your software. Like, okay, save me the headache. Like I hate to be a dick like that, but that's kind of the idea at that point. So yeah. Eva301, thank you for the follow. Glad to have you here. Alright, so I guess I have to walk through all the devices, which is gonna mean I have to run as root, which sucks. This is such a pain. How's it going, Eva? I don't want this to run as root, and the only other way to make it not run as root is to change all the HID devs to have a group that I am in. Actually, no, not even then. It's got to be all USB devices. This is such a crap setup. Like, why do people write things this way? That just calls enumerate. That passes it. No, expose more of that to me. Let me call this with the PNP ID. Oh no, even then that wasn't working for me either. You're a Windows 10 user? Alright. Yeah. This sucks. I'm gonna have to run as root. Alright, so this just becomes devs colon equals hid dot devices, or for blah comma devs colon equals range of that if if dev dot what was it? Or is device info, isn't it? Made your first game demo? Cool. Good stuff. Vendor ID. Yeah, we'll just do it that way. Dev dot vendor ID equals UIT 16, right? OXOEV and dev dot product ID equals UIT 16. I did that wrong. UIT 16 OXFF07. Then we're just gonna do return dev info. Yeah. Just this is a pointer now. Return dev. Oh. Return dev, come on. Ah, crap. Nil. Devs, comma, error, colon equals hid dot devices. If error is not equal to nil, return nil, comma, error. And range devs, do that. Okay. We should have the device now. Woo! What else do we got broken in the build? Lots of stuff. Is it ID capital I capital D? Yes, it is. Crap. At some point, we're going to have to get a little bit more creative with this, because there's multiple PMP IDs for the devices. So we will see. Yeah, okay. So send feature report. All that crap is gone. Find dongle. That was a we don't care about status right now. We're gonna get rid of that. We just want the wake up thing. So we just called send to tux with that. So send to tux with that. We call t.send. We're not reading anything back yet, so this is probably gonna get real gnarly real quick. But I don't know how to do this yet, so we're learning. So we're just gonna call write and see what happens. Returns a read error. Right, read error returns the read error if any after the channel return from read channel has been closed. Okay, so after read channel has been closed, you can call read error to get an error back from it. Okay. Dev info had the open, right? Yeah. Alright, so most of this is still pretty much the same across all this stuff. So here we just call dev.open. Dev open can return a device or an error. Device is not a... Oh, it's an interface. Okay. So that is still a pointer. That's fine. No, except this is just hid.device now because that's an interface. Blah. What is it that I'm trying to build? So you see this little penguin right over here? He is another one of these guys, and this is a fully animatronic tux. He can flap his wings, he can blink his eyes, he can open and close his mouth. It's a seized motor, so I can't do it right myself. He can spin around, he can talk, he's got a speaker in him, all this fun stuff. We are trying to make this code work again. And by work again, I mean I'm trying to port some really old, really hard to follow C code, and I'm trying to rewrite it in Go. Because, yeah. But yeah, so he connects to the computer via this USB dongle. And yes, it's a fish on a line. And I was wrong yesterday. I said I thought it works in the 2.4 gigahertz range. That's kind of correct. It actually is 802.11, but it's not like 802.11 Wi-Fi. It's weird or something. Or maybe it's just 2.4. I don't know. I was reading the Wikipedia page or something. And that's what they said. And I'm like, this doesn't sound right. But yeah. Alright, so anyways, what we're going to do is we are going to call write with the data. So we're just going to get rid of this. and we are just going to say dot right, and we're going to see what the hell happens here. Sign mismatch, 2 variables, we got 1. Hid.go 32. Right just returns an error. So I don't know how many bytes I got back, but that's okay. T.status undefined. Yep, I got rid of that. Tux.go 33. And then you are complaining about what now? T.data close used as value on 41. What? 37. Oh, device.close does not have a return value. Okay. Alright, we're going to leave that. But we're going to change this to say nil and remove that there. Okay. Alright, maybe we work. Okay, so apparently we need to do a little bit more. So we've been trying to follow the code for this, and that's part of the problem. And like all of this code is just super duper old and super duper hard to follow. We didn't look at much of this old code yesterday, but this is still most of the same stuff. Yeah, let's just go to the newer code. So the problem is, like, most of the stuff has died, so I've just created local clones so that I have something to work with. But yeah. Alright, so if we go to source, so in Tux hid, or Tux USB, what I'm trying to do is figure out how the startup works for it. And it's using all this frame report shit, and I don't know what the hell it does, to be honest with you. And that's kind of where I'm stuck and what I'm trying to learn. Actually, let's see this first. So if we go to Tux driver, we worked through a lot of this yesterday, but not all of it, because it is really kind of a shit show. So there is, where's my example code? So I had something that like connected to it, but it didn't actually do anything yet. So I'm starting this in C. As I'm writing this in C, I'm like, this is dumb. Like, if I'm gonna make this, so the whole point of this droid, this Tux droid, what I want to do with it is, I want him to become the announcements on the string. So like, instead of getting the big thing and the flash in the center that says so and so is followed, I want him to just be like, hey, so and so is followed, you know, stuff like that. So he's going to be connected to Twitch via Twitch chat. He's going to be handling the announcements. That part will all be automated. Then we'll put some, since he's going to be connected to Twitch chat, we can put commands in there to make him do things, all that kind of fun stuff, right? But like, as I started working on this, I started in C, and I'm realizing I want to put all this other stuff into it with like Twitch and all that. I'm like, I don't want to write this and mix this in with C code, because I'm going to have to do either non-blocking IO, or I'm going to have to do threads with semaphores and mutexes everywhere. I'm like, or I can make this work in Go, and it'll just be easy, and I'll be able to maintain it. So I started looking at porting it to Go. Initially, I was just going to look at using CGO to pull in the driver library, but it's just, this code goes super far back, a real long time ago. So it's just kind of like, I don't want to do this. Not this way. So that's where we are. So the thing that's weird here is, so this, we do a set dongle connected callback. I think we need to figure out where the hell that comes from in the Tux driver code. And I'm not sure where that's going to be. So we're going to search for that. Actually, now that we're in Sublime, we can do this much easier. Tuxdriver.h. I don't know what a .pass file is, but okay. Yeah, and apparently they have Python bindings too, but I'm willing to bet they're about the same quality as the Steam ones are. So yeah. Okay, so dongle connected func call or sets dongle connect or whatever, set dongle connected callback calls this. So who is calling this? Okay, so at this point it calls the wake up thing. Ugh. Okay, so I skipped over some of this. The descriptor init we realized we don't need. We don't have to do anything there. That most of these inits are literally just initializing structs to 0. But I did not check this one, and that might be part of the problem. But then we're trying to send this guy. This calls tux USB send to tux, which if we look at tux USB send to tux. That just prepends a 0 onto it and then calls tux USB send raw. And this is the part where it gets weird, is where we're actually sending it over USB. And that's the weird part that I'm still trying to learn. And I'm trying to see if I can just use write, because that might be enough to do what I need, but I'm not positive. Alright, we wanted to go back. I wanted to look at what this is. Dang it. Set status int val. There's a couple things here. That is... That just gets... What the hell does that get set for? This is just like its current state. Which, like, don't really need that right now. Maybe later, but don't need that right now. Wait, this creates an event. Software status get state stir event funct. What in the hell is going on? What? What is software status table? The eventing code for the tux values stored are the last evented values, so not the current values. There's no external function that allows retrieving that value, so it was decided not to store the current value as there was no need for it. Notice the following struct. Stir val is a pointer. It should only be used for static data. Int val is used for bool, uint. Excuse me. Event threshold is threshold value. If the threshold is exceeded, the value is evented. For string value, 0 means not evented. Okay, so I don't think I have to care. At least not yet. ID descriptor complete. So wait, who handles these events then? Let's go back to Tux driver. So this is on USB Connect. On USB Connect, it's called by Tux driver start. USB init module literally does nothing. Like, I mean, literally does nothing. Like, it just inits some mutexes and that's it. Set frame callback. I might actually need that. On frame. Alright, so let's try that real quick here. We're gonna go to hid.go. We should probably change this up. Oh no, so that was in tux.go we did device open. Alright, and then we are going to say, I guess we'll just put it here for now. Func, T star, tux, read, error, I guess we're going to use error, return nil, and this is just going to do for, frame, equals range of, I might be doing this wrong, but we'll see. This is going to be t.dev. Where was it? Readchan. Printf frame %v/n comma frame. Then once we open this and we're okay, we're gonna say go. Or no, we need tux first. Then we're going to say go t.read. Yeah. Oh, anyway, this we can't return an error here. It's a go routine. Undefined font, of course. So we're just going to create a go routine that sits there and just reads from the channel. And apparently didn't do anything yet. Let's make sure we actually got in there. Printf reading from readchan. That's not how you spell reading. Actually, we're gonna change this. We're gonna say for blah. Say frame : equals. That should be alright. But maybe we don't want to do it that way. Returns the channel. Yeah, okay, let's do it this way. We're going to say chan ch : equals t.dev.read chan. Let's change this to ch. Okay, so we got the read stuff, but it's not actually doing anything yet. Okay, so what now? Parse frame from hardware status. Like we don't actually have anything here yet, so I'm not too worried about it yet. What's his name? Parse frame. Okay, this will actually, we'll be able to do a lot of this a lot better. This is where we'll get into using struct tags to define this stuff. Maybe. We'll see. How's it going, Renegade? Welcome, welcome. What's up with the tux? I need a trigger for this. I really do. Have you ever heard of a tux droid? Tux droid is your virtual assistant before you knew what they were. This is another one of them. It is a fully animatronic tux. He flaps his wings, opens and closes his eyes, opens and closes his mouth. His eyes light up, he can spin around, he can talk, he can listen, and he is also has an IR interface with a remote. I'm trying to make him become the stream mascot or announcer or whatever you want to call it. That is the goal for Tux here. The problem is none of the code works anymore and doesn't work right, and interacting with it sucks. And yeah, a better Furby. So yeah, but that Tux, he's up in a light box. He's up above my screens. Yeah, so, but he's chroma keyed in there, and you know, good to go. He's fine. Make him sing the free software. I could. I would just play it back through him, but yeah, or with the TTS, that's doable. Once I can actually make him talk again and stuff. Like, the software for him kind of works. It just, making him or connecting him to Twitch chat is going to be the problem. And because of that, I'm reevaluating this entire driver and just going, let's update this and let's make it not suck. Plus, it's getting me to mess with USB stuff, which has not been going well so far, to be honest. So yeah. All right, so we're not even getting this yet, so I'm not too worried about that. Ooh, excuse me. So, what are we missing here? So, Duck's driver, before this gets called. So we just set that up. RF state callback. Maybe we need to look at that. What is RF? That just calls that. What calls this? This happens in Tux USB. Where is this? This is in process USB frame. This is not the process. This is not the read frame. Yeah, I don't know that I have to worry about that, but we'll see. We'll see. Good luck, Nanohard. And I'm not joking. I'm not being an ass. eBay. Duck's Droid. Either way, yeah, not seeing him, not seeing him, not seeing him. Amazon. Duck's Droid. Yeah, nope. The problem is the company went out of business almost a decade ago, and finding these things is difficult. If you can find them and want to help, that's awesome. I reached out to a friend of mine a while ago that I knew had one of these. I was like, hey, do you still have your Tux Droid? He's like, dude, I just threw it out. I'm like, no. So yeah, like there's not many of them left out in the wild, which sucks. That or people just aren't talking about them and nobody's selling them, or people just aren't talking about them. But yeah, so that one up there, I managed to pull off of Amazon about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago now. And it was the only one I could find for sale anywhere. I checked Craigslist, not that Milwaukee's good for Craigslist, but, you know, just looking everywhere. But yeah, most may be standing on a shelf now. Yeah, that's probably what's going on with most of them. And then you have to make sure that you have the dongle too. This is how you actually talk to him. He's wireless. So this is a USB cable in its mouth. Let me give you an idea of how old this is. It uses a USB mini. Not a micro, a mini. Alright, so this right did not work for me, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're having problems yet. Also, apparently they call, since that was Tux and this was the adapter, or he's a fish, they call them FUX. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce that. I know how I would pronounce it, and I'm not going to pronounce it that. I'm just going to call it the dongle. Alright, so back to the driver. Where was, I don't have my sample.go or sample.c or simple.c. So this looked like it was starting to work. So I said dongle connect to callback and status callback, and then I call start. What does set status callback do? Software status set event. Okay, so that's just for getting events back. There's also the possibility that you have the only two left in the wild. Yeah, that's possible too. And so this guy works. This guy you can't talk to, not with any of the software right now. He needs a firmware update. And updating the firmware is going to be difficult. And I'll show you why with this guy real quick, if I can. Oh no, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. So, this thing's really dirty. He's felt, so he collects dust. But so there's a back panel on here that comes off. And then on the bottom of the fish is this weird little 4-pin connector. So what you do is, to update the firmware... Hold on. So what you do is, you take this little cable here, you connect one end to the fish dongle, the other end into Tux, and then you can update Tux's firmware via the dongle. Yeah. So, you know, it's a real good fun time. And by real good fun time, I mean it really sucks. But yeah. Mini USB less prone to break. In my experience, yeah, that's very fair too. So yeah. Is this the... That's not even the right battery for this. I have a bunch of weird coin cell batteries in here, which are not the right kind for this guy. But the other cool part is he has a remote. So like I have the foot pedal that does all this stuff now, but in theory I could make Tux do it via the remote. So I could be like, change scene. And that'd be cool. So mechanical keyboard still uses Mini? Yeah, I can see that. Superior Mini, yep. Mini B to deliver 3 amps to the keyboard. Oh man. You can charge a phone through the pass-through port? That's kind of awesome, but kind of scary at the same time. Did get a free USB Mini to USB-C cable when I bought my most recent Barmillo Mac? Huh. Don't know them. We've broken 3 Mini B hacks, but never a Micro B? Huh. Or jacks, yeah. Just bought another one today. Keywalker 68 for that Bluetooth. Oh man. Yeah, I can see that, Reckonaro. Alright, so that's just the event callback, so we don't really care about that right now. The event callback is all being triggered by that read function. So if we went and dig through all that code again, that's that read function we were looking at before. So that's what's calling that. So yeah, it's just that, and then yeah. So here, let me show you what this does here. So if we Tux Droid me LD library path equals pwd sudo su LD library path equals pwd / simple or / test. So it talked or connected to him, and this is where my C code gets. But like I'm trying to redo this in Go, and I'm trying to figure it out. So yeah, right now it's sitting here reading. You guys can't see it because it's chroma keyed out, but his eyes are blinking when I hit the remote. But yeah, so I'm not getting any events for the remote buttons, which sucks. I mean, we can try all of them. There's a lot of buttons on this remote though. Oh wait, you know what? I didn't set an event callback in here, did I? Let's look at that real quick. USB only has 3 ways to fit. Yes. Even USB-C, I still like. It doesn't matter which way it's oriented, but like getting it in there right is still a pain. Set status callback called by the event stuff, right? Tux driver.h. Event callback. Set status callback takes that, yeah. Status event callback. Set callback event. Wait, so which one did I set here? Micro B looks worse, but is rated for some god-awful number of insertions, although USB-C is rated much better. Huh. There's red 3.1 ports? Are they just power? That'd be my guess. But that'd be weird. Oh no, I think my old tower had red ports. I don't know what they were. Status callback. Alright, so status callback, we just print status. Okay, let's see if we can't actually like read the remote out of this guy. Set callback event. Sure, let's try that. Event callback T. Tux driver set event callback event. Callback event. Callback event. This should probably be a P, not an S. Or it's gonna get weird real quick. Event callback T. It just has a car start event and doesn't take anything else. Okay, cool. Static void event car star event printf event colon %p/n comma event. Now I gotta remember how I compiled this yesterday. GCC, or we're gonna export LD library path equals pwd GCC minus L tux driver minus O test simple.c. Oh, it's not tux driver, it's just tux, right? Event callback T. Let's tux set callback event. Okay. Don't know if that's right or wrong. We're gonna find out. Implicit declaration of function. No, it's not. Wait, what? Oh, I have to do minus L pwd. What in the shit? We're gonna copy this. It's the same. That's fair. USB-C does have the click lock. Yeah, the DisplayBoard button is a real pain in the butt. Alright, so what in the shit? Callback event. Are these the only ones that are exported? Like, it looks like this tuck stuff just isn't actually exported. Which could be the case, but that's shitty. I don't know that I'm actually supposed to use this one. Yeah, okay, set callback event just calls Tux driver set status callback. So that's already what I'm doing. So that goes away. Okay, so that's just, I don't think this is wired up to do any part of that, which sucks. Trying to get a hands on one of those Ryzen Vega, no small species, but most where you live is out of stock. Oh, it sucks. Alright, well anyways, let's continue running through the rest of this, see what happens. So, log level shouldn't do anything. That's because log set level is going to be something dumb over here. Touch the log. Or it's just log? It's log. Log open, close, set level. Yeah, that's fine. Don't care. Okay, so then we call set log target again. Don't care. Dongle connected callback. That sets the callback. These are just set callbacks. So literally we just have to look at tuxdriver.start and see what the hell we're doing differently and go from there. Dual based programmers run i3. I don't know what you mean by based. I don't know. I spend a lot of time in a terminal, so i3 makes a lot of sense for me. I used to have my main programming interface used to look something like this. Actually, hold on. My old programming interface used to look something like this. And then I would work out of this. Now I don't need to do this that much anymore, but I end up doing a lot of stuff using all the splits and everything in i3. And it works well for me. But a tiling window manager is not for everyone. If you think you might need one though, you probably do. But yeah, I had a script for that that would do that back when I was still running XFCE. It was just like dev env or something. It would just spin up 6 terminals and let me work that way. On like on stuff that wasn't widescreen, it would give me 4, stuff like that. Alright. We are going to get down to the bare minimums here. Tuxdriver.c. Start. Print out the version. Don't care. USB init module. Literally does nothing except initialize. Good. Set frame callback. Set frame callback. Oh, what did I hit? Oh, only this one. Set frame callback, sets up in mutex, and then sets frame callback function to that. This gets called with onFrame. onFrame literally just reads, or no, okay, we gotta look at that a little bit different. So that says the callback for it. That's to read it. We're not ready for that part yet. Damn it. You messed up the line I was on. Start. Set frame callback, RF state callback. I think we're already done with. I'm not sure how I'm gonna. What actually calls this thing? So this gets assigned to RF state callback function. That gets called there. Oh, this is the old code too. We're mixing a lot of code here. That's part of the problem. But so USB.C, just if we have that function, we call it. But what is this function that's calling it? Oh, set RF state callback. Okay, what calls that? Okay, that says on RF state. Oh, yeah. On RF state. Oh, this actually looks like this might be something we need. Yeah, this looks like something we're missing. You don't need a tiling window manager, but it's nice. Yeah, I mean, there's that too. I've always been a heavy user of virtual desktops. So I'm used to having Windows full screen and having specific locations for them. So if you're one of those people that's super anal about where your screens pop up and all that, then a tiling window manager is fine for you. If you're the kind of person that doesn't care where stuff is and you'll alt tab for hours, then tiling window manager is not for you. You're gonna hate it. I don't mean that like in a bad way. It's just like a tiling window manager expects you to be disciplined about where you're putting stuff so that you can find it and use it. That's where its efficiency comes from. So if you don't do that, you're gonna have a bad time. For reinitializing the remote control task. User input in it. Okay, that doesn't actually do anything. That just resets state. It's kind of what we're expecting to see with a lot of these. The tux descriptor get. This is the part that's kind of tricky. The descriptor get does a whole bunch of stuff. And it gets the descriptors for those, but I don't know how that gets called yet. And having to take hands off of keyboarders when this. Yeah, there's that too. Not enough on screen at one point in time. I have to remember, just like things being always full screen. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. What we're gonna do, I was gonna see if I can crank up the log level here. I'm at debug. What else is there for log level? I was hoping there was like a tracing. And of course there is not. Blah. More log than debug. Ludicrous log mode, sure. No, there's usually one called tracing, or there can be one that's called tracing that'll show you each function that's being called, and that would help me figure out what the order that stuff is working in, so I can re-implement this right, rather than trying to go down this rabbit hole of hell. Reset positions is probably going to be relatively straightforward. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why it's 0.3, but... So this basically just flippers down, spinning off, mouth closed, eyes open, and turns on both lights for his eyes. So nothing too major, but at that point we're already connected. Like, we have to be connected for that to work. Alright, and that got called by... Yeah, wait, where the hell did that get called by? That got called by... Where was that? That wasn't... Wait, was that descriptor in it? That wasn't descriptor in it. That was the RF... No. On RF states. Yeah, that was on RF state. So how the shit does on RF state get called? So on our... Like, this is the piece we're missing, I'm pretty sure. Or we need to look at USB start. Let's look at USB starts. Get read loop started. That calls capture. Then read USB loop. What does capture do? That calls hid capture. Frame count is 0. Freezed frame count is 0. Last frame. Oh, hold on. You know what? Let's look at this quick. Log.c. Damn. I was hoping there was a macro I could turn on that would make this log more info. Prints a timestamp. Yeah, there's no way to add the file name into it. Lame, 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 lame. Alright. So USB capture calls tux hid capture. Hid capture does find dongle from path. What does this do when it finds something? Okay, that just sets the device handle. So this opens it, and then... Wait, so this, yeah, this opens the device path. And then it calls get dev info. So that part we already have. That part should already be done. We have that. The energy to do what? Go through this or what? Oh, the code? Alright, well, yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily energy, it's more motivation. But yeah. Yeah, and believe in yourself. You can do it. Become a gaming chair potato. So what you need to do is you need to put hot oil on your chair, and that'll get you moving. Or just like a hot oil vat above you that can dump on you. And then you'll turn into a French fry. Or a tater tot. Tater tot. At least then you're hot. I don't know. This is why I do not do improv comedy, because It is not making sense. Now you're hungry. Sorry. Oh, alright. So, this just opens the device. We did that. We've got the dev info. We got all that. This has the handle. That is fine. That is the capture. Then they call set connected. Where the hell is set connected? Defined. This is what I would call more or less spaghetti code. Because this shit is all over the place. Oh. What does dongle connect function do? Alright. Okay, so if we have a dongle connect function, which we did in my simple function here. So in that connected, I called get descriptor. And then that was able to fill in a bunch of data for me. You're also hungry now. I'm sorry. A burnt crisp. And your Etsy host and sync all the game servers. Yeah, that's a good way to do it too. Don't let your dreams be dreamed. Just do it. Nice. Quick games, but I'm still addicted. Feels bad, man. Yeah. So, like, the cool part, like, when I moved to Linux, there was, like, no games on Linux, so I couldn't be tempted by games. It was a good time. There was no Steam for Linux. I have a Nerf gun that has Velcro on it for some reason, stuck to my sock. I should put darts in these. I could shoot at the camera, but then I'm going to knock the camera over. Oh, hey, foot pedal. Remember using Steam and Wine? I played Portal 1 in Wine, and that was difficult. Play Counter-Strike 1.6, nice. Yeah, I did get Counter-Strike working at one point with a headset and all that. I think it was Source, which should have been 1.6. And then it's just like I updated and it broke, and I'm just like I'm done. I don't care. Yeah. All right, I guess we're gonna look at get descriptor. Because, like, the dongle connected is, let's look for get descriptor. No, we want tux driver. So this is all going to be in here, isn't it? Get descriptor. Oh, yeah, see, this is already supposed to be in here. So what the hell sets firmware release? Description. Like, wait, what? Excuse me? Who sets this? This is part of my problem with this code. It's like, wait, what the hell just happened here? Crap minus RI, blah. So let's define in tux firm. Oh, there's a mem set on it to 0. Where is this actually assigned? Am I blind? Ugh. You said PB50 and we were talking about Counter-Strike, so I'm like, Punkbuster? Like Punkbuster 50? Like, are they still making Punkbuster? This random stuff right now, we're working on a Tux Droid. The random stuff, we already did all the other random stuff we're gonna do. So I guess I can change the title to say Tux Droid. So we are trying to make this guy, we're trying to bring him back to life. Because tuxisalive.com is down. And none of the software works decently anymore. That's not necessarily true. The software might work. What I want to do with it is not going to work with the format that it's in right now. Boom. There's the link. Alright, so you saw multiple mem sets in Atom, but like, where's the mem set where it actually sets something? There's got to be something weird in Tux firmware. Let's look at that. Tux firmware.c. We're dropping packets because my ISP sucks ors. It's probably been close to 100 minutes because that's what happens. Wait, liblocal should just live in the library. Wait, what the hell is liblocal? See, I don't even know what the shit that does. Liblocal C. Oh, what in the shit? Where the hell does liblocal come from? No, I don't want to search every file. This is probably in like some header file over here. Grep liblocal star. Minus R. Left grep /.h. Visibility hidden. Okay, that's all it does. Yeah, Renegade. I figured it out. I saw PB and we were talking about Counter-Strike, so I was thinking Punk Buster, but yeah. Yeah, Morgos, my ISP sucks ors. I don't think you've been able to see the graph, so we can show you what the graph looks like. The graph looks like shit, is what it looks like. Ooh, look at that packet loss, yeah. So about every 100 minutes or so, or somewhere around there, for about 100 seconds, I lose data. I'm missing data before this because my DNS, my local LAN DNS is broke because I messed stuff up. But if I go to like 7 days, like it wasn't fixed here. That was, I couldn't send my metrics. So yeah, it's funny what losing 1% of packets will do. Yeah, I used to play Counter-Strike. We started in like beta 3 and I stopped at 1.6, or shortly after Source. I think Source came out when I'd already moved to Linux, but I'd still go to a buddy of mine's house, and we'd drink and play Counter-Strike. I honestly don't remember any of the maps, and towards the end, I was pretty much just playing FY maps, because those were fun. And everything else is like, dude, this is work, especially when you're drinking. It's like, I'm done. Alright, so where the hell does this get set? There's no magic on the variable itself. Wait, the variable's not even here. Where the hell? Oh, yeah, that's in Tux driver. This is an extern in Tux firmware. Did I say extern? What did I say? Firmware.h. You're gonna run triple monitors for your double Excel and PowerPoint. Like, oh man. Wallbang 1.6 Pros. I don't know what wallbanging is. I may have used to use. This is probably 1.4 or 1.5. I don't remember. We used to use aimbots as AFKs. So instead of being a free kill, we used to turn on an aimbot. So I was like, oh, dude, I need to get a beer, or I gotta go pee. Turn on the aimbot, go run to the bathroom, come back. I got 6 kills. Nice. That was great. Good times. Firmware descriptor status. External firmware descriptor T. Oh, wait. That's this thing. But still, where the shit does this get set? Wallbang is when you shoot oh, yeah. Well, I mean, we used to just guess shoot through walls all the time, mostly crates and stuff. I mean, if you weren't trying to do that, you were just trying to die. Nobody runs around a corner blind. You always shoot the corner before you run around it. Alright. Firmware init descriptor. That's just going to do this memset to 0. Load symbolic versions. That's not what I'm looking for. Cheating, that was annoying. Used OpenGL instead of direct. Yeah, a lot of us used OpenGL instead of DirectX. For the longest time, I used to use the colored models because, like, I didn't know the difference between the terrorists and the counter-terrorists. I didn't know what to look for. So, like, if I was on a friendly fire server, I was always killing my teammates. So I used to use the colored models. It was like red and blue or red and green. I don't remember. And that was a good way to go for their save. No, oh yeah. Have I just been searching the wrong name? Where's my find window? I don't have my find window here. What did I do over here? No, okay, yeah, I maybe I had the wrong name. I think I've been searching the wrong name. No. Oh, but so this is to look for symbolic version. This is looking for a file on disk. I don't have this file. So that's looking for a file right here named symbolic versions, and I do not have it. At least I think it's looking right there, or it's looking in source. And yeah, I do not seem to have that. What is version.h though? Nothing. But yeah, so that's loading into it from a file. Or wait, what? Hold on, that didn't create a file in over here, did it? No. That's deprecated too. Oh, yeah, good call. That is writing the file. But that's not getting the firmware version from the Tux Droid. But we can see who's calling this. And it looks like the answer is no. Right, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this, and then we want to go back here and grep-ri for that. Or that does get called. It gets called in tux firmware.c on line 177. Check for new descriptor. What in the hell? What do you guys see without const expression, compile time, structure? What? What do you mean? What do we do without what? I don't understand your question. I don't know what you mean by a const expression or a compile time structure. Like, we definitely have structures. We have const. We have macros. So, what are you asking, John Hillington? CPU ID to name. Alright, what's not static in here? Init descriptor, dump descriptor of CPU. Like, how do we get into that part? Update firmware revision. Update revision. I shouldn't have to get to any of this yet. Update author. Press the version name of CPU. Test firmware version. Determine release package. Hold on. Where's that init again? Firmware init descriptor. Versioning state equals init. Let's look for this. Versioning states. So if we're in standby, we break out. If we're in init, we call init descriptor. Initializes a bunch of stuff to defaults. If we're in request, they null out version string. Send firmware versioning request. Why does this seem like it's a billion times more complicated than it should be? So this just goes through each CPU? With const expression, the compiler can run functions in compile time, and the return value of the function is placed as a constant instead of running the function in runtime. Okay, so you're talking like an inline? We'd create an inline in C, which I believe is still a thing in C++. So you'd write the function, most likely as a static inline, or it wouldn't be static. It could be static inline, but whatever. If you're going to share it in multiple C files, it's going to be in a header file, but it'll be an inline function. Are we dropping packets again? I'm not seeing packets dropping. Oh, the ISP warning's still up, though. And speaking of peeing, we're going to take a quick break because I have to pee really bad and I need more water. So, sit back, relax, and I will be right back. Alright, welcome back. Okay, so what I understand of inline functions is that they are a suggestion to the compiler, but it doesn't have to honor them. So it could still be ran at runtime, but it might not be. And we're dropping packets, of course. Damn you, ISP. Dump descriptor of CPU is... Yeah, I saw that net, like, that's why I'm like, what? Like, nobody calls that either, so I'm, yeah, this thing is really, really annoying. Where was the standby thing? TB what? No, CDB, standby, okay. CPU now is greater than highest, versioning state equals special. And resets it. Do I have fiber? No. I could go to fiber. We went through this whole talk earlier. The problem is like getting my ISP to do anything about my current problem is difficult because it's not a persistent issue. It's hard to troubleshoot. Like, am I going to sit on the phone with one of the support techs for an hour and a half so they can see it happening? That's the problem. That said, I do have the time of when it does happen, but yeah. But like the problem is most of the like the tier 1 stuff, when you talk to them, they're like, oh, well, your connection seems fine here. Like, yeah, I know it's fine right now. The problem is that for X percentage of the day, it sucks. And that percentage isn't like an hour straight. It's a minute plus every hour plus. And like, it just wrecks the world and it sucks. Text firmware image, that doesn't do shit. Info get. Like, this literally... CPU num goes up and up. So firmware description, a number. Wait, hold on. Where does that function? This is just a really weird state machine, but yeah. Why do they compare using /0? Because 0 would be null. /0 is a valid pointer with its first byte being a null byte. So basically, it's a string of 0 length versus a null. Like, if this was just a 0, and then, like, that's two completely different things that they're comparing. But yeah, so you check if the first byte of a string is the null byte. That means it's a 0 length string, or an empty string. Whereas if you were just checking it was 0, you wouldn't have a string, you would have a null. I got a status. Did we get the status before? I don't think we got the status before. Oh yeah, we did. I got a different status here though. Oh, wait, yeah, here. Because here I printed out what I got back. That was the string I put. Okay, hold on, wait. So yeah, that's still the same. But I didn't get the USB debug stuff. I defined USB debug. Let's do... So that would be dereferencing on the parent. So, like, if you're checking 0 there, then you're... Like, you wouldn't... If it was null, you would crash when you're doing that. Yes, you're correct. If that's what you're asking. But yeah, that is a dereference. Like, this USB debug doesn't seem to do shit. That's just supposed to print F, and it's not here. doesn't matter. It's used in like 2 places. Right, and they'll say if not defined. Damn it. Docs notes.txt. Or stop. USB ID frame. Have I ever used UT hash library? No. Like I said, when it comes to C stuff, I pretty much just use glib for everything. And that covers more than enough of everything. Tux USB, send a dongle, or send a tux. Okay, wait. I think we're actually getting somewhere here. Okay, so, well, what are these CPU numbers? Like, it'd be weird if I have to do this to start, but, I don't think that's necessarily the case, and I'm also not doing this the same way that they are. Where's that CPU? Okay, so... Okay, so that's not going to be the first one, but we're calling send a tux with the CPU ID plus 2, and then 000. But this gets weird because... So if we look at USB.C and we look at send a tux, all we do is we put a 0 on the front, and then the send raw just calls USB write, but USB write isn't just a normal USB write. So this calls HID write. And if we look at HID, and we look at write in here, this is where this gets real funky real quick. So this uses the report stuff to make this work, and this is where I get super duper confused. But let's look at how this library does this. See, this has hidden usage and all this stuff, so this is maybe a good thing. This is making syscalls. This is closer to what I actually need. This is the stuff I'm trying to avoid writing. I don't want to have to write this crap, because this crap sucks. Let's see, but this is not going to have the HID report info in here. That is my guess. Yeah. HID IO control get report info. This does not exist here. G report. Nope. What is Tux Droid? It is a animatronic Tux, the Linux penguin, that came out in the mid-2000s and is never, or no longer maintained, and all the software sucks and it's impossible to find. He is also the thing you see right over here. Oop, right over here. This is a Tux Droid. This is another Tux Droid. So, he's fully 3D, he's animated, or animatronic. He moves. I'm trying to make him move. I wonder, what's the origin of nil? I have no idea. That has something to do with Android mobile OS? No. The Tux Droid, when did Android come out? So Tux Droid came out in 2007. Android operating system. I know Andy Rubin was working on this before that. I think it's Andy Rubin. Initial release was September 23rd, 2008. So technically it outdates it. I thought Android started sooner than that. Okay, so Google bought them in 2005, and it was unveiled in 2007. Okay. I guess it was 2008, all the Googlers at this Mentor Summit had it. I don't know, whatever. Y'all ever seen Droid in the context of Android apps? Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, it's just, you know, they took the name, nobody stopped them. You know, I'm really starting to wonder if this would be easier if I just write the IO control shit. The problem with writing the IO control shit is that I won't work on not Linux then. This is nothing. Okay. Head.go. So where is write actually implemented here? You best not stop on that foot pedal. Where'd your ball go? Well, the cat's playing at my feet. Blah, 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 blah. Calls, enumeration. Where is, okay, open returns a device. Hid open path. That might be a problem. By default, TuxDroid reads 64 bytes at a time. I don't want to have to write all this code. Do. This is sucky. C.hid device is what's okay. Yeah. And then the device itself is actually implemented in here, which is kind of annoying, but I get it because of the CGO stuff. It's fine. Read channel, read error, write, and close. So that's all the implementation stuff for it. All right, let's look at hid HP or hid API dot C or H, whatever the hell it's called, and see if we get anything from there. By hid API. Okay. This is gonna hurt, FYI. It's using wide cars. Yay! Wide cars are 16-bit strings. I guess that's what they decided to use for USB, because why not? Okay, hid device. Oh, you punks. You don't put your decals back here. Here, you don't indent the decal spec. Don't do that. Alright, hid device. That's a really weird way to do that. That's just some random thing, but whatever. Okay, fine. Device info, not too much there. You got init, you got exit. open path. Right, read timeout. Hid read. Set non-blocking. Send feature report. Feature reports is sent over the control endpoint as a set report transfer. The first byte. Scan one more byte. I read this the other day. It's first byte of @p data to the report ID of the report to be read. Make sure to allow space for this extra byte in @p data. Upon return, the first byte will still contain the report ID. Report data will start in data 1. This might actually be what I want. So the way the Tux Droid stuff does all this, if we look at the hid Unix. I don't know why it says Unix. I don't know if this works in BSD. I don't know if BSD's hid dev works the same way as Linux is. I'd be very surprised if it does. So I don't know. But yeah. Hold on, just check something there. Alright. Maybe, maybe not. Huh. Alright, but yeah, so that's weird. So anyways, so that might be the thing we want. So in the right here, you'll see it does the get report info. And that is what we just looked at, right? Get a feature report from a hid device. So the data you pass in, your first byte is going to be changed to that. So this might actually be what the hell we've been missing this whole time. Which means, unfortunately, I think I have to change the stupid hid library again. But I don't know of one of the hid libraries that actually supports this thing right. Something that exposes these. There was that library I was started with yesterday, and I don't have on here anymore. It wasn't this one. It was a different one. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't this one, was it? It might have been this one. Carolab hid. Or not pull request. We want to look at code and then go to commits. Yeah. So this is the one we started trying to use and we were having issues with. I think it's like better. What are you doing, dude? So we might actually be able to use this one. The problem was I'm like, I don't know how to get the report ID, but now looking at the underlying library, it makes a lot more sense. But let's see, let's look at what this pull request did, or let's look at this diff and see how it worked. So, send feature report just takes the whole thing, and or this is when, or if it's not supported on there. So get feature report, that's fine. Send feature report, that's cool. Length to be is 0. Okay, so if there's nowhere to write it, it just aborts it. Then it locks the device. This is like a bad use of locks. I don't know why. Like, okay, got the device, but then it's just gonna do whatever with it. Retrieve the feature report. So it gets feature report and it writes it into B0. Okay, so it writes the ID. Wait, so if we look at hid get feature report, this takes. No, there's data. What is this shit? Oh, that's gross. I just got what it's doing. It's gross, but it makes sense. So it's taking the address of the first item of B, which will then give you the pointer to the rest. And it's casting that to a C pointer. Or whatever, to a uint8. Or a ucar. And that's giving the whole length of the whole thing. So you go, yeah. So yeah, you use that to get the report ID, and then you write out the rest of it from there. Okay, I think we can make this work. I think. I have an idea at least, so we'll see. Just give me this whole thing. How did I do this yesterday? We had to update this in a weird way to make it work. It was go mod edit. We had to do like this. What? Go mod. I don't remember to do this. No, what? Go mod. That's not what we did yesterday. I need that specific version. Oh, it's require. Go mod edit dash require equals that. There you go. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna get rid of the Jack of most trades one. Again. I've switched HID libraries like 5 times now. It's kind of my thing at this point. Like, oh, this one doesn't work, I'll try that one. We'll see what happens. But now I have to remember how to use this one. Alright, and this one, device is not a pointer, right? Oh no, device is a pointer. Sweet. Alright, so I can do enumerate with just that. I really prefer to not have to do enumerate, but whatever, that's fine. That's okay. But okay, so hid device is still a pointer. So, oh, this here was an interface. Now it's a pointer. Then, with still hid.device info. Yep. Okay, so find dongle. Instead of this, we say... Alright, what did that return? That returns just a device info. Alright, so we've got devs :equals hid.enumerate. Again, there's other PNP IDs. That's what these are, the plug-and-play IDs. But right now we're just handling the one because that's all we know we have for certain. So we have dev info, var dev info is star hid device info. And then we're going to return dev info, nil. And then we're going to do for dev equals range of devs, because we're just going to do this way because we're lazy. If dev is not equal to nil, right, because that is a pointer. No, it's not a pointer. If dev info equals nil, then dev info equals dev. And that should do it. There, I think. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look one more time at Tuxu, or at, where is it? Hid Unix. Okay, so this is where it gets a little weird, but I'm not too worried about it. So the problem here is the report ID. This has been the problem, or a huge part of the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to say get report, and we're going to spit that out and see what it says we have. We're going to start with that and see if that'll get us anywhere. This read function is different. We're gonna have to figure that out. Read retrieves an input from the hid device. That is obvious, but how does that actually work? Gets the device. Oh, it reads whatever size I put into it. Okay. So the read we're gonna have to do as a go routine. We're gonna have to work through that ourselves, but that's not too bad. But we're gonna kill this for now because we don't need that right now. Also, what is this blue dot here? Oh, modified files. Interesting. I have not noticed that here before. I don't normally have the bar up. So I'm like, what the shit is this? Okay. Oh, close can definitely return an error though here, right? Yes. The problem of jumping between all these different libraries is these little gotchas will kick your butt. Alright, so that's the main setup for him. But here we are just going to say... I guess what we could do is we could say... Sure, let's try that. We're going to say full data colon equals make byte slice with the length of data plus 1. No, we're not going to do it that way. We're going to say full data equals append byte, or how do I do this right? Byte 0 x00 comma data dot dot dot. So now func.printf full data hash or %v slash n comma full data. Then we are going to call the get report thing. Get feature report. So we've got red comma air colon equals t.dev.get feature reports, and then we pass in full data, and then we're going to skip this for now. This one too. We're going to return error, but we're going to func.printf full data %v comma full data, because that should have been updated. Func.printf red colon %d slash n comma red func.printf error colon %v slash n error. With any luck, we will actually have something going on here, and we will see. I like mobile development. I haven't done much of it, if any. And what the hell just happened? I saw an email notification from Twitch, but I don't see an update on my activity feed in Twitch. So, what the hell was it? Oh. The Dota 2 TI9 main event starts today. I don't care. Why do you think I care, Twitch? Like, I have never watched Dota on this on Twitch. Twitch is like, hey, maybe you like Dota. No, I'm okay. Cannot use dev type, hit device infos type, star hit device in assignment, hid.go 16. I messed up a type here. Oh yeah, so device info is not a pointer. It is just a reference. Yeah, okay, so we gotta fix that. Colon equals hid device info. Okay, yep. That should be okay on the other side. What else we gotta do in this build? Can I convert nil to type HID device info on HID.go 15? Dev info equals dev break. T.dev undefined. Yeah, that's supposed to be a lower T on 28. Or lower D. Import not used font on tux.go. It did not set anything. It read nothing. But it gave me an unknown failure. You like Dota because we're pushing hard? Yeah. You got an email from Twitch about copyright strike because of licensing GNU software? Yeah, probably not. So what gives? Like the what? No, okay, hold on. Let's go back here. Let's go back. Look at this diff again. On Linux, get feature report. So it calls hid get feature report. Passes in the pointer. It read -1 apparently, because that's how we end up with unknown failure. So let's get dirty. Time.sleep 10 times, or whatever, 2 times time.second, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Of course, I thought I had time imported in here, and I don't. See, but wait, why is read returning 0? Oh, it gives me this. Stupid. Why don't I upload my live streams on YouTube? Like I can. It's really time consuming, and are people gonna want to watch the whole thing, or they're gonna look for highlights, or what? I mean, I can do it. I really should make an intro and something, but or an outro maybe, but like, you know. But I might start doing it. I had something on here. Where the hell is it? There's like a YouTube exporter something. Highlights, but that's the length. Yeah, exactly. There's a Twitch YouTube export extension or something. I forget where it is. Like, I literally don't even have to leave Twitch to do it. It's just, I gotta remember to go in there and do it. And the reason why I have to remember to do it is because you can't, as a Twitch affiliate, part of your affiliate agreement says that any content you create on Twitch has to remain exclusively on Twitch for 24 hours since the time it was broadcast. So it's not like end of the stream, I can just hit a button. I have to wait till the next day at the end of the stream, I can hit the button. And that's the stupid part. But like there's all these video tutorials suck. There was some tool or something I was using in here, or maybe it was just the VOD stuff. There's a TV / rwgram/videos. So if I go to videos and let's see, what is this from? Okay, so if I take Thursdays, oh no, this isn't Thursdays, this is yesterday. I can't do that one yet because the whole stream has not been on Twitch for 24 hours complete. So if I actually grab Pigeon Night, I had the title wrong when I started yesterday's video. Alright, so if I go to this video, No. No, this isn't it. Where is it? If I go to channel video producer, I think. August 15th. I can right click. I can export. Okay, so yeah, I can export to YouTube from here. So we can say Pigeon Night, or we can say live stream 2019 08/15 Pigeon Night. Description, I don't know. Tags, pigeon, I'll fix the description later. Public. I can split the video into 15-minute segments, but that sucks. But here, we're just going to hit this now, start export. And this will take some time, but it'll do it. Like, it'll appear on my YouTube soon. I don't know if you can use a bot to do the export stuff, but maybe. But let's see. I think I get an email when it's done. But yeah, this is like one of those things where it's like, I kind of want to look at doing it, but there's a lot of time involved in it. And I started tinkering with it at one point and was just like, this kind of sucks. That said, it looks like I can export it to a private YouTube video, which I can then publish later, which that might not be a bad idea. But yeah. But I mean, like, what's the advantage of watching it out for you all that are viewing it now? Or that are at least on Twitch? What's the advantage to you for watching it on YouTube against watching the VOD on Twitch? I mean, yeah, it'll live forever on YouTube as far as I know. Whereas on Twitch, even with Turbo, I only get 60 days. Unless I highlight the entire video. You got ad block on YouTube. That is a fair point. Yeah, exactly, Nightshade Dude. I have all the time to write all this stuff. Even on private, it might break the... Yeah, that's a possibility too. That's why I for sure just did the one from Thursday, because that was Thursday. Alright, so what in the hell here? Hid get feature report. What does that actually do? CDP Tux Droid. Directory T, CDT, apt-get, source, libhid API. Like, I've been putting off working on Tux Droid for like 2 years now, so yeah. How's it going, Talid? Maybe I'm saying that right. We're working on a Tux Droid. I don't have an open command for it, but yeah. Why is there a libUSB directory in here? Okay, so my YouTube export succeeded. Is this not me? No. How do I get to my channel? The Google About page looks a lot like a Google Plus profile page. So yeah, I've also been playing around with streaming on YouTube. Where it said it exported, but I don't see it here. Okay, let's go to the Creator Studio, and we'll see from there. No, not that. Yeah, no, Creator Studio. Like, I thought it would have showed up in my videos right away. Videos. Okay, wait. So now it's there. So YouTube is processing it right now. That's what's going on. So like Twitch uploaded the whole thing, and now YouTube is processing it. Which is cool because I have to download it. It's a 4.5 hour stream. So yeah. But yeah, like if anybody knows anybody that's like decent at editing technical streams, that'd be cool. Like I know like a bunch of people that have editors for like gaming streams, and like that's easier to like get an idea of what to do and like what's important. But like the stuff here, like a lot of it could just be clips. So you know, if I say something funny or you know something fun happens or whatever, be sure to clip it. Because that'll, you know, those, like, at some point I should go through and collect the clips and just, like, make a collection video and throw it on YouTube. Something like that, but, yeah. So, let's see here. Yeah, customize menu. Ugh, they're just giving me a tutorial of all this crap. Like, I don't care right now. So yeah, this is still processing, it's doing, yeah, it's not games. So, oh, I told it to export it as public, but it came through as private anyways. Alright, well, whatever, I'll take a look at that when it's done. But yeah, write an output report to a hidden device. Read an input report from a hid device with timeout. So this is calling hid. Alright, that's hid read timeout. See, this is. This is where this gets super duper weird. Alright, so if we go back, well, where's the USB sender? Or no, the hid thing here. So we get a report info. What does this IO control do again? Linux hid dev. Should be setting up my environment. Instead I'm adding tons of people on LinkedIn. Oh man. I don't do anything on LinkedIn anymore. I have not logged in like 2 years, maybe more. It is very nice, very nice. Alright, so hid IO control, get report info. Struct hid dev report info, read write, fills in a hid dev report info structure for the user. The report is looked up by type, input, output, or feature, and ID. So these fields must be filled in by the user. The ID can be absolute, the actual report ID is reported by the device, or relative. Hit ID, report ID first. So Droid is setting this to output and hit ID first. Oh, wait. Yeah. So, oh, no. They're saying input and first. Okay? And that's just setting up the structure. But, like, I don't know how to do that with this stuff. So it's like, what? Read an input report from a hid device. Input reports are returned to the host through the interrupt in endpoint. The first byte will contain the report number if the device uses numbered reports. Maybe I want to be calling... I am going to have to write my own freaking wrapper around this, aren't I? I'm either going to have to fork somebody else's and add a bunch of code to it, or I'm going to have to write my own. Because I think I need to do this one. Oh no, that's just hit read. So wait, what does this library call? I am so deep in this. This is just... That's not the one I'm using anymore. That's not the one I'm using anymore. This is, right? Yeah. Alright, so hold on. Go back here. They just put hid API in here because fuck it, why not? I guess. Read. Okay, so this calls hid read. So maybe I just want to be calling read? Maybe? Input reads are returned. Device handle returned from hid open. I have that. Buffer to put the read data into. The number of bytes to read for devices with multiple reports. Make sure to read an extra byte for the report number. I don't know if I have a report number. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back here. We're gonna change this to say read. Anyway, what else did this take? This just takes the byte. Okay, let's try this and hope. I still have a report of 0 in there. It didn't die immediately. Maybe. Oh no, it's waiting on the interrupt, I think. You just got the Dota email? Okay, good. It wasn't just me. They're just spamming everyone. How's the Tux Droid stuff coming along? Well, I didn't get an error when I just did a read. But let's try this. What if I skip this part and I say full data equals data? That does not seem right. Yeah, we're still trying to figure out how all of this shit comes together. Let me close this file. I have the source code for the whole library now. Alright, hold on. Let's look at this one more time. We're gonna be ending here soon because I've gotta go take care of my cats and stuff, but yeah. We want, yeah, don't care, close without saving, find results, go away, firmware, don't care, descriptor, don't care. These are the ones I want to open yet. Okay, so Tux hid right. First calls get report info. So let's find where hid read is implemented. Hid read timeout. Hid read calls timeout. No, that's pulling a file descriptor. This is not anywhere near the right thing. But let's do this. Let's grep for this. Yeah, see, this isn't even here, man. And the other libUSB HID-C is libUSB. Which one you use depends on your application. Complete functionality of the HID draw version. Right, what? Complete functionality of the HID raw version depends on patches to the Linux kernel, which are not currently in the mainline. These patches have to do with sending and receiving feature reports. libUSB implementation uses libUSB to talk directly to the device bypassing the Linux HID driver. Disadvantage of the libUSB version is that it will only work with USB devices, while HID raw implementation will work with Bluetooth devices as well. To use HID API, simply drop either Linux HID.C or libUSB HID.C into your application. And what in the hell? No, I haven't used Flutter. I want to learn it, but I haven't done it yet. Yeah, it's connected by a USB botfleck, but it uses feature reports for everything. And I have not figured out how the hell to make this work and go. And I'm kind of wondering if that's the right course to go down at all right now. Or maybe I just abstract it for now, or build the abstraction layer for it and just call it with syscontrol or IO controls myself. And then if somebody wants to work on something else, they can implement their part. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. But we'll see. Like, how old is this? Like, that's great. Okay, this doesn't work all the way on... Like, what version of the kernel was this not in? That you need shit to work. And maybe that's why I'm breaking everywhere. Because the copyright on this is 2009. And if I remember correctly, this was not very new. We got 3 years... Whatever. Let's go to commits. 3.5 years ago. Not touched. Now, again, that doesn't mean it's busted and doesn't work. It might mean they're mostly feature complete, but that whole note about the kernel is really annoying. And there's 165 issues. Oh my god. Ugh. Please target new pull request. This process libUSB will now host a fork of HID API, which is supposed to be a common point of fixing bugs and discussion. This looks much better. There's only 18 issues. There's last commit was July 15th. The problem is like I can't easily, like I'd have to vendor all this into the thing. Someone had a Mason wrap support, nice. Or they're asking for it. Huh. Website. These issues are all kind of new, too. What's the percentage HID API project and some projects like Python wrapper goals? Make the new HID API more visible so it's indexed by search engine. Yeah. What's in pull request? Oh, they're still using auto tools. Ugh. What the hell is Cirrus CI? another one. Jesus, there are so many of these things now. I need to finish convey. Alright, but we're going to call it here. We've been here for almost 4 hours. We're kind of stuck. I think I'm going to have to do all the IO control shit. That sucks. It's a pain. It's not going to go well. That said, I will not be on tonight, or tomorrow night. Tomorrow night there is a social event for developers in Milwaukee, and I am attending. So I will not be here to stream tomorrow. But who do we want to go raid? Gooseman's still on. He's been on for an hour. I guess we'll go raid him. We haven't raided him in a bit, so that's cool. So, let's go raid the Gooseman. Oh, and I'm dropping packet. Or wait, am I dropping? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, cool. So we're going to raid Gooseman. So you can find my schedule right over here. But like I said, I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I'm going to try to work a day stream in here somewhere. We'll see what's going on. You can find all my social media info right over here. And if you'd like to join us on the official and unofficial Pigeon Discord, you can find it right over there. So, thank you everyone for coming by. Nightshade Dude, you're very welcome. Thanks for coming by and hanging out. And until Thursday then, or before then, if I get a day stream in. Have a good one, and adios.